Hey, what's up guys? I've been playing a lot of Skyrim lately, and I wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite mods. The game's already probably my game of the year out of the box, but the thing I like about it the most is it can get even better. I like leaving things up to the community. Right out of the box, the game had a lot of console-ish type stuff. The interface was totally console. There's a mod that helps that a little bit. There's not a full UI mod yet, but the one that I have here, it's pretty nice. I want to go through my top 10 mods, so let's jump in and take a look. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is head over to the Skyrim Nexus, and you're going to want to download the Nexus Mod Manager. And the URL for that is skyrimnexus.com/content/mod manager. Go ahead and download that. I've already downloaded that. Go through the install process, and once you're finished, you'll have the Nexus Mod Manager. Just you can select Skyrim, because this Mod Manager works on Skyrim, it works on Fallout, it works on the Elder Scrolls Nexus, and also the New Vegas Nexus. So it works on several different games here. Then we can start installing mods. Now, the first mod that I would install would be the 4GB Skyrim. What that does is it allows the game to take advantage of more RAM. Out of the box, it only takes advantage of 2GB of RAM, probably limitation built in from the console. So the cool thing here is what you can do is once you get to this page, you can do a search for 4GB Skyrim. Click on Downloads here, and whatever the newest version is here, that one came out on the 12th of December, just click Download with Mod Manager, or Download with Manager. And when you click on that, it's actually going to open up over here, and as you can see, adding 4GB Skyrim, blam, it says it's already there because of course I've already done this, but you know what, I'll go ahead and replace the old file. So it's almost like if you're familiar with any download manager or torrent application, torrent downloading application, this should be very familiar. And once it finishes downloading, it will appear here in your mod list, and you can activate it or deactivate it. To activate a mod, you just select one, and see this little button right here. You click that, and that will activate it. If you want to deactivate it, let's see, maybe I don't want that. Just click here, and it will uninstall the mod. When you are updating your mods, you do want to make sure you deactivate the old one first. Like for instance, let's see, Better Blood Spatters. There's a new version. It'll show up right here. It's sort of like a little caution with an exclamation point. Click on that. It'll take you straight to the URL. Very handy, very good program. Let you download the newest version of whatever mod it is. I'll go ahead and download this. And okay, that's downloading right now. No, not there. There. So as soon as that's finished downloading, I'll be able to deactivate the old version and activate the new version. So let's go through the rest of the mods I like. Now, of course, like I said, get the 4GB because you're going to need it for some of the textures. The next thing I want to talk about are some game balancing, playstyle, tweaks, that sort of thing. I do like the dual combat realism a lot. Now what you can see here, it's a list of everything it does. It does increase the chance of staggering when hit, and also increases your strength. So if an opponent is staggered and you hit them while they're staggering, it does, it hits them harder. So that's nice. So there's also, different amounts of staggering for every hit. Also, one thing that drove me crazy is in the game is it just doesn't feel realistic when someone hits your shield and it damages your health that much. So now with this mod, the small hits don't hurt your health at all. They damage your stamina, and the large hits, like a power hit with like a giant two-handed axe or something, will damage your health, but not as much as before. You can read up on everything else that's changed here, but this is one of my favorite mods. The next mod that I really like, this is actually my favorite mod, and it's not a mod you can download, it's just a tweak that you do in your Skyrim INI file, is the Archery Realism tweak. Now what this does is it creates a more natural arc when using an arrow with the bow. Before I was playing the game, you shoot the arrows, they go way too, they're almost straight. It's almost like a bullet or something like that. They do descend, but the arc was not there. It's not the same as really shooting a bow and arrow. So I love this tweak because it just feels so much more natural. When there's a creature that's way far ahead on the horizon, you have to put the bow, you have to point it like kind of a couple inches above the character, then you shoot and you hit, and it's so satisfying. It just feels so right. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure you can actually hit those characters. So we have to add this line as well to the INI file, because right now, if your character is not close enough, they won't take any damage, which really can get annoying. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. The INI file is actually in your My Games folder, so locate your My Games folder. And inside your My Games folder, go to Skyrim. I've created an old INI file. The way I did that, let me just go ahead and delete this one. I'll show you how to do that. You right-click on that, copy, and then paste. In the same folder, it'll make two. You can call that old if you like. So you just, so in case you break something, you know. And the first two lines there, add that right underneath combat, and then beneath that you want to make another header for actor, and then add that line. You just copy and paste it, and again, it's on Skyrim Nexus. Just search for Archery Realism. This mod makes the game so much more fun for me. You may not like it. You might like to shoot arrows, you know, straight and defy physics, but whatever. Okay, next up, the inventory needed a lot of help, so you've got to grab the QD inventory. Now, what QD inventory does is it's one step toward deconsolization of the game. As you can see here, now all the categories are across the top: weapons, apparel, potions, scrolls, food, ingredients, books, keys, miscs. That's much easier. The font is a little smaller, so it's easier to see. It's still not a perfect mod in my opinion. I guess the perfect UI mod will be when someone does something that's more similar to some of the Oblivion mods that came out, or even Nerim. But that one's very important. And the next up, the thing I did to help my inventory a lot was a mod called Better Sorting. So you can just click on download and download that with Mod Manager. But Better Sorting is amazing because you see here it arranges your potions by level 1, 2, and 3. The other thing that's really nice is, say you've got a bunch of different ingots and a bunch of different arrows and that sort of thing. Instead of having to search all the way through, because they're originally organized alphabetically based on, you know, iron, gold, ebony, dwarven. So now they all have ingot in the front of them, and arrows all have arrow in the front of them. Ore all has ore in the front of it, so it's much easier to quickly get to what you need. Very, very nice. All right, now let's make the game look a little better. First thing you have to do is grab the Serious HD Retexture Landscape Skyrim. Now, check this out. Look at the before and after. It's like almost unbelievable. And this doesn't really hit the performance of the game at all, so you want to grab these immediately. Look at that. It's like, I don't know what that is over on the left, and then it's beautiful. It really, really changes the game for me. Walking around just feels a lot nicer. The snow looks particularly amazing, as you can see there before and after. Yeah, this really, really does a lot for me in the game. The game is a little blurry, if you ask me. It shouldn't be so blurry. The textures aren't quite as high res as they should be, and then again, I imagine that's because the game is somewhat consoleized. So the Serious HD Retexture Pack is my favorite texture pack right now. There are some people out there retexturing a lot of different parts of the game. You know, like here's the Flora Overhaul by Vert's Skyrim Flora Overhaul. Now this one's also very nice. Take a look at the before and after. Just makes the game look a lot better. When you install the mod, you get to choose your type of tree for the pines, to replace the pines. I think I chose the ancient ones, but the northern one looks pretty good too. All look pretty good. Good job there. Look at the before and after here. So the Flora Overhaul mod really does add a lot to the game. I highly, highly recommend it, especially if your graphics card can handle it. It actually doesn't really take much of a hit on the speed at all, I've noticed. Hardly any. All right, moving right along. Speaking of, you know, realistic textures and that sort of thing, the realistic water textures, this looks beautiful. It really changes the game a lot. You see the default there's a little blurry. The new version looks just crystal clear, just really beautiful, as you can see there. The one place that I noticed the biggest difference was the marsh. Let me show you the marsh before down here. This is what the marsh used to look like. Marsh before. There you can see. And the marsh after right here. It's much more natural. Much, much more natural. Nice still water, a little creepier. Just all in all, it makes the game a lot better. Again, that's realistic water textures. Okay. Now, the horses, they don't run that fast. I mean, they run fast, but they don't run that long, I suppose is the problem. They only run for about 18 seconds when you're sprinting. that just seems a little weird because horses can sprint for a bit longer than that. So this mod changes that to 3 minutes. So the horses will run much longer. Now, one thing that you may want to take into consideration is the way he modded the game to get the horses to sprint so long was by leveling the horses to level 255. So since the horses are at level 255, they're going to have a lot of health. So just take that into consideration. I decided to go for it because the horse can take some damage, whatever. I want to be able to sprint for a long time because it's the only way I'm going to use a horse. If I don't have this mod, I usually end up running around on foot. Okay, Skyrim HD 2K textures. The default textures in Skyrim, they need a little bit of work. So we have Nebula here. He's been redoing some of the cities. He's already redone a couple of the cities. He did the first city. I believe, what else has he done? He did Whiterun, and I forget what else. He's redone some of the outdoor textures as well. Finally, the rocks look a lot better. All in all, this is looking way better, and this is compatible with most of the other texture mods out there. So, mountains, roads, cliffs, even 8K tree textures. Some 4K, some 2K, Windhelm, Winterrun. This makes the game look a lot better. This will put a bit of a frame rate hit on your game, so just be aware of that. But this makes the game look a lot less like the console version and a lot more like the PC version it should have been. Also, no more blocky faces, smooths out the faces, makes them look much better up close. As you can see here, the original, you can see the mesh beneath. This one smooths out the mesh. There's a low and a high res version of this in case you're worried about your frame rate. But this also helps a lot to make the game look better. Again, it's no more blocky faces. After that, you can search around on here. There's all kinds of different mods. I mean, once you get the Nexus Mod Manager installed, you can start installing things like different eyes for the character. The people in the game, the NPCs, so the eyes look better. You can install more vibrant lips or all kinds of ridiculous things. You can, you can get the nude mods and everything like that if you're into realism. So by all means, go ahead. Here's what I use: Glowing Ore Veins 300. Now this basically just makes all the ore in the game glow. So when you go by it, hey, I can go mine that. Just a little bit nicer, and this is sort of ripped off from Nehrim. So nice little mod there. I believe I'm about at my 10. I've lost count now, but I'll go ahead and make a few more honorable mentions. I'll do that quickly because when you're in the Skyrim Nexus, you can easily grab these things. Enhanced Night Sky is really beautiful. I downloaded that one and installed it. So Captain Joker did a very good job on that one. Really like the way that looks. Especially looks nice when the Borealis is out. Okay, enhanced distant terrain. This basically just puts some filters on the distant terrain. It doesn't hit your performance at all. Won't hit your frame rate. It just basically adds some noise to the background and a little more detail. So that looks nice. Realistic smoke and embers. If you're a caster, especially someone who's throwing a lot of fireballs around, destruction and all that, you're going to want realistic smoke and embers. It adds a glow to the fire. It makes the fire a little more, a little bigger, a little more vibrant. And I love what it's done with the smoke and the volumetric fog in the game. That looks a lot better. There's more smoke and there's more of a clear smoke trail now as before, where it was just very faint. So when you're walking up in the cauldrons in the front of the city or there, you can really see the fire or the smoke coming off the fire. It's really nice. Improved NPC clothing. I love this mod because the NPC clothing was lacking. Here's the new bartender clothing, as you can see. The texture on this is much better. Detail up close is much better. It's not blurry at all like the old ones were. Look how blurry that was there. Yeah, that's very, very blurry compared to the nice new ones. He hasn't redone all of the outfits in the game because there's, of course, a lot of NPC outfits. But his goal is to redo them. I mean, look at the difference there. Huge difference in the original and his retexture. So, highly recommend this one. And the hit on the graphics card is pretty much non-existent. There's also someone doing some retexture on the children's clothes as well. So you can grab that one if you like. I haven't installed that one yet. Maybe I will later. People are retexturing the dungeons. I mean, the game is getting a huge facelift from the community. On to one more gameplay mod, and this is for all the casters out there. If you've played the old Elder Scrolls games, you might remember Midas Magic. Well, it's coming back in Skyrim. This is an early version right now. Let's see what version we're on right now. We're on 0.001, so very early beta version, but Midas Magic's coming back. I'm not playing a caster right now, but when I play the game again, I'll play a caster and I'll try this out. So If you want Midas, you can go ahead and start trying it out now. And the last one that adds to the immersion of the game, better blood splatters. Looks much more realistic, as you can see there. Just a lot nicer than the original textures, much nicer. So go ahead and grab that one as well. All right guys, so there you have it. I know some of you read my blog post about Skyrim already. I will continue to update. I'll make another video after the creation kit comes out. I believe it's going to be out in January, and I'm sure the modded community is just going to explode. I'll make another video with 10 more of my favorite Skyrim mods. Send me your favorite mods. Let me know what you guys like. Logan@tigerdirect.com. Also, first off, excuse the echo in here. We know that there's an echo, so don't put a comment about it. We'll fix it later. You know, just want to get the content to you guys. Echo or no echo, you guys can hear me. If you like the video, send it to your friends. Post it on a forum with Skyrim. Help me out, guys. I'm out here making videos for you guys, so, you know, subscribe, like, and do all that nonsense that everyone does. See you next time.